Hi everyone, so this is the Josyrian prototype and it comes with this Asian tiger camo. Personally, I actually like this camo, but I understand that some people do not like it. That's fine. You can always choose the cork fabric, but cork fabric tend to be a little bit more fragile because if you are being rough, any sharp object, including our nails, if you scratch it hard enough, you can actually tear the cork. So this is an alternative, very tough material. That's why they use it on the battle dress uniform BDU, the camo. So before we talk about the SIA, let's have a look at the arrow pass. You can have a look at the arrow pass and compare that against my finger, and you can see how narrow the arrow pass is. Okay, look at my finger. My finger is literally wider than that. And okay, for the handle, this one here is with the palm support. So if you do not want the palm support, it would be more like that. I mean, just imagine a straight line from here to there. I personally think that on this particular unit, this one is a little bit too high. But again, this is just a prototype, so I'm telling the bowyer to reduce the height, cut it down a little bit. Okay. I also think that this one is a little bit too Turkish-like, so I also told the bowyer that we want to actually add more material here. Okay, so that we want to make it less like the Turkish and make it more distinct for this model. Okay, it's gonna be more like straight down instead of like bulging inwards like that. Okay, now let's look at the interesting part, the SIA. Have a look. So this little stopper here is actually very small. Just look at that. It's actually not that big. Like the bow itself is already very small. Okay, so when you stand up and you look at the bow, that's how small it is. Okay, see, I'm looking downwards. If I put my phone right now, that's right in front of my face, that bow is short. Okay, the bow is short from tip to tip. It's 46 inches. Okay, tip to tip standing up like that, 46 inches. That bridge is super tiny, or stopper, whatever you call it. Okay, but I suggested to the bowyer that we're gonna paint this black. Paint the stopper black so that it's not as visible, you know, like that. It looks pretty, but no, I think it would be prettier without a stopper, or at least we need to have that, so we're gonna paint it black so that it's not as obvious. I also discovered something rather interesting on this particular unit because the lower side has a little bit of imbalance during construction. The two sides is not very well balanced, so when we draw the bow, it bends to one side. But I think it's a good opportunity for me to show you how this SIA self-center even in such a situation. So just to show you that you see from here, it looks fairly straight, right? SIA looks fairly straight. In fact, it is slightly tilting towards the left. Okay, right now it's slightly tilting towards the left because it is actually, I'm trying to compensate for the lean towards the right. Okay, it's gonna lean towards the right. But now I'm gonna flip the bow, so of course the left and right is gonna change. Okay, so the bow, as I draw it, is gonna lean towards that side. Okay, the side where I'm pointing right now. As we draw, it's gonna lean towards that side. That is why I'm tilting the SIA towards this side. Okay, but still, I cannot fully compensate for it. So when I draw, you will see that this bow is tilting to one side, but the way the SIA is built, it compensates and tries to straighten the string as it returns. So obviously I'm going to use my foot. Okay, I'm going to use my foot against the handle, and I'm going to try to position the string in the center of the grip and draw. Now observe what happens at the sear. Right, like I said, it's leaning. It's leaning. Okay, it's leaning to one side, but it's totally fine. As we return, look at what happened at the sear. That's how it self-centers itself. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Okay, see that? It's leaning to one side actually. I think it's quite obvious. But as it returns, look at what happened. The sear self-centers. So even if we do not have the bridge, we don't actually need this stopper here to have this shape. Okay, it doesn't really need to have this shape. It will self-center even if it doesn't catch the string, but we thought that it's going to be better if we make it like that, so that in case anything fails, we have some redundancy. But technically, you don't even need this, it will self-center.